welcome back to the evolution of creation. We are finally fucking back. We have a brand new setup, brand new studio here, so hopefully much more videos to come. More.
That's why we took so long, because we had to do this place up. It looks wicked, bruv.
Yeah, it was full of shit before.
Yeah, now it's on.
And what better for our first episode back than to finally talk about the new love of my life, Ormsby Guiatrs.
It is a beauty.
Have a look.
Can I have a touch?
No.
Oh.
Alright, fine. Woo! This is the Ormsby SX GTR. I believe this is a Korean made guitar, and it's, you know, normally I don't like Korean made things other than kimchi.
It's nice.
But this is more fire than fucking kimchi. I don't know, I'm gonna try to keep this video short, but I have so many good things to say about this brand.
It's hot, because you've been playing this for a while and we haven't been able to do a video about it. It's just been discovering thing after thing.
All guitarists, you know, you search for a brand, a guitar that meets every single need you have. And this one absolutely does it.
Now, I'd like to ask you a few things about this, because this is his very first Ormsby.
Yep.
You never forayed into the territory. Can you tell us a little bit about how you discovered this?
I've
never heard of Ormsby.
I'll let you hear how it sounds.
Let's
for a
just
little
hear
bit.
it, yeah.
Video, but
it's both thick and clear. But yeah, no, I'm gonna hear a little bit, right? Because I never heard of Ormsby before, and I know apparently among the guitar world, people know about it, but it's not one of the big brands.
Look, I first heard of Ormsby from, there was a video of the NAMM show, and Jared Dines, he's a famous YouTube guitar player. Ormsby built him this monstrous fucking, like, I think it was 18 strings.
Ayo.
It's just a ridiculous thing, and I saw that video. It was ridiculous and glorious at the same time. You know, it was kind of like, if we're gonna overdo it, let's go see how far we can push it. But that's all I knew about Ormsby. It was just about this, how far I can push it.
Boundary pushing ridiculous shit.
Yeah, but I didn't look further into them. And I didn't even know they were from Perth.
Australia, mate!
Yeah. Aussie brand.
That's
really awesome guitar, and I had a look at, you know, the players that were playing them, and it seemed like it was more of a more modern, genty kind of guitar.
Very technical, just kind of...
Yeah, which I'm not usually a fan of that kind of more modern playing. So initially I didn't pay much attention to the brand. If you have a look here, I don't know if you noticed, but this is a 29 fret.
Wow.
I was gonna say 27, but
what's the average amount of frets for the layman?
Well, you know, like Gibson Les Pauls are 21, 22 frets, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Give you extra range.
Usually 24, you know, for other guitars. But this one has 29 on the high string, and I believe 27 on the low string. The first thing that really stands out, it's not the camera that's got a problem. These frets are angled.
That is correct.
Everything is angled, and the pickups are angled.
The pickups are angled. Oh yeah.
Yep. Even the bridge is angled.
Now, can I bridge back to what we were saying before? Now, from what I recall, one of the big things that drew you towards Ormsby was, frankly, the designs that they had. These freaking ball-bustingly awesome pieces of art.
You know, people talk about food, right, and presentation, because they say you eat with your eyes first. And I think guitars are that way too, you know, or any kind of art. You know, it's what you first see. And Ormsby makes such amazingly beautiful stuff, you know, from the, you know, the lowest affordable range, the GTIs to the GTRs, which are the mid-range, and to the custom shops.
Oh, the custom shop.
Oh, brother.
Can I just say that as a layman who does not play the guitar, I saw some of these pictures of the custom shop, and oh, bro, the cream in my pants, I tell you. Like, it's so beautiful, so intricately, like, designed and hand worked.
Well, look, this is, well, back to my Ormsby experience story,
Yes.
right? Yeah, we're all over the fucking show.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot to talk about.
I walked into 5-Star Music in Ringwood, in Melbourne, and I saw this on the wall with a few other Ormsbys. Obviously, it looks amazing. Caught my eye. The fan frets, you know, this awesome seafoam green color. And the other thing that caught my eye was the price.
How much?
Well, I got this from the store for about, it was on sale at the time, 1,500.
Oh, fuck!
And seeing, look, I was, for a long time, I didn't believe you could get a pro level built instrument. What I mean by pro level is like, you know, something that you could withstand, you know, the demands of a professional player. You
Not
know,
like entry level shit.
yeah, like you can still get good cheap guitars, right? But the thing is that if you're gonna play it a lot, if you're gonna, you know, gig with it, tour with it, you know, things like tuning stability, you know, performance, comfortability, the playing, the quality of the finishings to the fret ends is a big thing. Many little details like that. So I didn't believe you could get a pro level instrument under $2,000. And for most,
That was the standard set by all your big guitar companies.
well,
and
for
all
the
that.
most part, that's true.
Yeah.
So I saw this at 1,500, and two things came into my mind. First thing was, my God, that's a beautiful looking guitar. And secondly, there must be something wrong with it
It's cheap as fuck.
for 1,500.
Yeah. That's the cheapest guitar I've ever heard of.
Well, it's cheapest guitar I own.
Yeah.
So I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. Plugged it in, you know. And sold in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was clean tone. Turned on the gain.
It's solid because it's funny because I know you've got an inclination towards non-professional. You've got an inclination towards guitars with a very very clean, a lot of clarity. This seems to cover both ends of the spectrum.
I like my vintage guitars. My other two guitars that I use the most, well, before this, are Nash Telecasters. And they sound really, really good.
Very clean.
But for a long time, I was playing them by myself and not with the band.
Yeah.
And because we towed the line between that hard rock and metal
Yeah.
style. And while they were great when I was playing by myself, they weren't cutting it with the band. Sorry, not cutting it. They cut through.
Yeah.
They're really bright. They cut through, but they didn't have that girth.
Yeah.
You know, like when I talk about girth, I'm talking
The
about
girth,
that,
not the length.
that low end.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, that kind of.
I think especially for rhythm, and because you guys you're not playing like really like dang, 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 you know, it's quite jing, 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 jing.
Yeah, I was really searching for that thickness, you know. But usually that kind of thickness doesn't come with clarity. I don't know why all guitars don't do this. I'm gonna come back and talk about Ormsby's multi-scale design. So on the higher string here, I believe it's a 25.5 inch. Yeah, that's like
Alright.
double mandingo.
Yo. Alright.
But to go even one step further, on the low string, it's a 27.5.
Okay, wait, so to explain, because what I can gather in
Yeah.
terms of the sound is that when it comes to your clean sound, it's got a quite nice, bright, clean sound.
Yeah.
But it's got a real fucking dirty.
Look, it makes so much sense, right? Because your low strings are thicker. So what Ormsby's done is given you a longer scale length to accommodate the low strings and a shorter scale length for the high strings.
So that actually, it makes the highs brighter and the lows dirtier.
No, it tightens up the lows.
Oh.
So it's not too muddy. Just so you know, with this current guitar, I've got it tuned to a drop C sharp. So it's a standard tuning down a half step, and then the top string drop down like a drop D.
Okay. Now I want to ask, because one of the first things, I tried playing this thing, and it just threw me off. The fan frets, man. Like, what's the deal?
It's meant to be it's more ergonomic. You know, when you hold your guitar, you already are at a kind of an angle.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean? Like, let's say I bar a chord, right? Oh wait, I forget, drop tune. That doesn't work. You're already at an angle. With a regular guitar, when the frets are straight up, you're kind of twisting your wrist to accommodate that.
So what you're saying, in the long run, it's probably not as good on your wrist.
Yeah, it can be, but the thing is, because most of us learn on a standard scale, we get so used to it that initially when I picked this up, it was a bit strange. When I was playing down here, I was feeling like, damn, these frets are further away from me.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just an initial thing that lasts, you know, maybe the first couple of minutes. And then you start playing it. And you know what? I still play my standard scale guitars. There's no difference.
Yeah, you can switch
I can
between...
I'm so used to playing the standard scale that I can play that. But this is definitely not harder. It's much easier. It's much more ergonomic. And once you get to the high frets, it starts to fan the other way. So it then gives you, you know, a bit more flexibility when you're up here as well.
Yeah.
In fact, I read when Perry Ormsby came up with the idea.
That's the guy.
Thank you, Perry. Fucking legend. He thought of it as piano strings. If you look at how a grand piano is designed, the low strings actually have more
they're stretched out more.
length, right? To accommodate for the thicker strings. So when you put it in that context, you go, it makes so much sense that the guitar should be multi-scale.
That's, yeah, I mean, never thought about it that way.
Yeah, especially when you down tune, that additional scale length really helps, I find.
I've got to ask, because like, this guitar is kind of incredibly different from anything you've ever bought, anything you've ever played. Now, because you mentioned that the Ormsby brand is so, it's primarily kind of a lot of these very gent players, very technical and kind of in a shreddy. What's your take? Because I know you've got a very different approach to the Ormsby. You're not a genty, shreddy player.
I find the Ormsby... Hang on, sorry, I'm just tuning it back to standard.
While he does that, I'm just going to check.
It just has such a flexibility in the tone. Of course, I can see why, you know, very technical shreddy players or guys who play gent would be drawn to them. They're amazing for down tuning. You know, get a lot of clarity in the lower tunings. It's incredibly comfortable to play. Like, it's straight out the box. I mentioned the frets before. Cheap guitars tend to have very sloppy fret end work that you feel it on your hands as you slide up and down. But this has so much attention paid to it. Round off all the ends. You know, I don't want to bad name brands, but you know, one of the big G. There's only two big Gs in the guitar world, and the biggest G, very disappointing. I recently played one of the big G Le P customs. It was nearly $7,000 guitar. It looked beautiful in the photos, but fucking horrendous. Like, just
shocking.
Shit.
And it's funny because, like, I remember one thing that you found out about Ormsby when you're looking into them, about their, because you know, you said they got the custom range and then they've got like the cheaper range. It's like made in Korea. But what was the thing you told me about their process that differs from a lot of these big guitar brands?
Well, Ormsby is very unique in the sense that up until recently with the new Indonesian range, what they tend to do is they do their guitars in runs.
Yeah.
Then we couple of runs a year, and there's a private Facebook group that anybody can join, where you can talk and discuss these things, and the Ormsby team members themselves will communicate with the fans, you know. We could throw out a suggestion like, hey guys, how about next run for the, you know, the hypes, you do like a splatter paint job or a swirl. And if enough people get on board with the idea, it actually happens. You know, it's really a guitar brand that listens to what the fans have to say.
For the fans!
Yeah, it's a community. There's a discussion. you know, one of the terms we use is the Orms fam.
I was gonna say it's a family.
Yeah, it's Orms fam, and
Yeah.
we're all Orms bros, you know.
Oh,
And everyone's
hot.
there because they love this brand so much, and it's a real collaborative process, rather than this big company going, "Listen up, this is what we're fucking making you buy it."
Yeah, and you're gonna buy it at exorbitant prices.
Yeah, and even without the consultation, these guys at Ormsby know what the players want. They know what players need, and the ideas they come up with, the designs are just amazing. You know, this is such a... I've never thought that I would buy a guitar like this. Humbucker bridge, single coil in the neck, and with a coil tab option as well. You know, on a guitar of this price range, I believe when it was in the run, it retailed for about 1800, which is still fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, listen to this coil tap sound, yeah? It's such a... so snappy, you know, snappy, bright, sparkling, beautiful.
Yet it's got this richness to it as well. It's not like super twangy.
It's like it's already perfectly mixed. You know, you hear your lows, you hear your highs. I've had guitars with coil taps before,
Yeah.
and I almost never use it because I found the coil tap is like a compromised sound. You know, the idea is, I guess we always refer to the coil tapping as getting that glassy strat tone. You know, it's less sustained but with that snap,
Yeah.
right? But Ormsby, and there's no difference loss in volume. That's something that cheaper coil tap guitars do. So now it's both pickups, no coil tap, and it's fuller, a bit more sustained.
Yeah.
And the neck pickup, I've never thought of having a single coil in the neck, but in this case, that was really sloppy, but
So what does your single coil pickup on the neck
it's a
add?
very clear neck pickup. You know,
Which helps with
I guess when you're playing faster stuff, that you really get to hear every note. That was the neck, right?
I describe it as it gives more texture to the attack.
Yeah.
You know?
In fact, you know, neck pickups are normally used for leads when you want to get the more bubbly sound. But this is not so much the bubbly, but a clear. I find it's actually still very useful for heavy rhythms.
Now to round off the point that I kind of asked you a question, you kind of half answered it and then you went whole another way around.
What was the question again?
It was basically about how, you know, like a lot of brands, they have these sort of, I guess like delegated for like the cheaper range.
Yeah.
You know, to like, you know, factories in other countries. The difference between
Oh,
what
yes, okay.
Ormsby does and some of the other big companies.
So Ormsby designs them. They get the Korean range made in World Music in
They're gonna
Korea.
say- In Korea. Oh, Korea. Oh.
Yeah, the company is called World Music, and they make guitars for a lot of brands. You know, people like the PRS SE models, the Schecter models, and I've tried these other guitars. The difference I found at Ormsby is that once everything is made, they all get sent back to the factory in Perth, and it passes, you know, like the highest quality control testing before they then get shipped out to the people who bought it.
So that's the thing. Like I think you mentioned that you said most big brands they don't do that last line of quality control to make sure that even though it's a cheaper the cheaper range, it doesn't mean it has any less care.
Yeah, the care is one thing, but Ormsby also doesn't stinge out on a lot of things. Like, you're still getting top of the range woods. It's just that it's being made at this separate factory. But the woods are chosen by Ormsby. You have little things, like I said, the call taps. You get the in-house pickups from Ormsby, which are the same pickups you'll get on the custom shop range.
Oh, nice.
So it's not like you're getting a cheaper, inferior pickup. They're still all from Ormsby's factory, and they make amazing fucking pickups.
Which is a great way, I think, as well, to be able to sort of, take a step into the Ormsby family. If you go like, well, I don't want to blow my load on a custom shop straight away.
Yeah.
You can spend 1,500 Aussie, 1,800. That's like, what, almost like 1,100-1,200 US kind of thing.
I don't know what the exchange rate is.
Maybe 1,000, I don't know. But that's the thing, it's not that expensive if you want to
other
try
little
it.
things that Ormsby's thought of. Like, if you look at the body carve on this, that's what they call the belly carve. The back of the neck here is amazing. This through body design, perfectly sculpted out, that fits your hand so comfortably no matter where you play. Lumen laid dots on the side, that's something that's usually reserved for higher end guitars. Incredibly useful if you're playing on stage, darker settings.
Yeah.
Locking tuners, really good.
Turn around and show. Locking tuners.
I can't remember what the brand was of the tuners, but they're really good.
That's the other thing I noticed when I first picked it up.
Hipshot maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's very light.
Yes, not all Ormsby's are this light, but this one is incredibly light. Another little thing they've done is they've put these rings, these rubber rings on the knobs, which just give you that nice grip when you're playing.
Especially if you need to tweak things on the fly.
Yeah, very easy, very comfortable. The design, ergonomically, I like how the knobs and the pickup selects are out of the way, so that when you're playing here,
You're not gonna go smacking it.
You don't hit it by accident. I've seen a lot of guitars that put it in the wrong spot.
Because sometimes they put it. Do they put it up there?
They put it up here sometimes.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Which, it's out of the way, but then it's hard to get to if you want to do a quick switch.
Yeah.
In fact, if you see in the video that I did, the demo, I begin the clean tone with the call tap in the middle setting, and then I go down to the bridge. And it's easy access enough, the way that it's designed. Once again, like, I keep using the word ergonomic.
It's ergonomic, man.
That's what it is.
It's an ergonomic guitar.
It's like a fucking Lamborghini of a guitar.
I mean, it's got that look, like it's super sleek, even the way, the shape is. Down to every last detail. This is not even a
And can I just say, guys,
shop.
it was such a genius idea to angle the neck pickup this way.
To go along with the...
It changes the tone a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a really great design. Now, 29 frets is more frets than you will ever need, right? I mean, this last note, it's a high A. You'll almost never use it, but I realized that's not the point. I found with this guitar, I find myself playing up here a lot more, and because it's more comfortable.
Yeah, instead of being like all the way and then your hands sort of like hitting the
You're
body.
all cramped up, right?
Yeah.
Because normally the body already ends there. So even though you don't necessarily use these last few frets, but it allows you better access.
And like, if you wanted to, you could.
Yeah, even if you're playing, you can play rhythms higher up. And it still sounds heavy as hell.
Now, I'm leading on to the main passage of things, but I do want to ask, like, what kind of guitarist would you recommend Ormsby's to?
I think anybody who likes a well-built guitar.
Ooh, that's hard.
It's, like I said, I don't usually play the kind of music that most people would associate Ormsby with. But that's the thing, I don't think of Ormsby as, oh, it's a guitar for gent or it's a guitar for technical shredders. It might appear that way with some of the famous artists who are associated with them, people like Rusty Cooley, Dino Cazares. However, it's just a damn good guitar. You can play...
It's goddamn beautiful.
You can play just about... like a Mississippi blues kind of thing, finger style.
Bit of a modern twinge to it, but
You know,
yeah, like
because it's strange because you can play all these things very comfortably, very easily. You know, I do like a lot of finger style kind of playing stuff, but it has that modern tone, that very clean, very precise, and it's a very good all-rounder guitar. You know, it's a guitar that I feel that with our songs, with our set, I could take on stage and play all of them and have the tone that I want, you know, just with minor adjustments to change things between songs.
because you guys do a lot of like you've got songs with really clean parts,
Yeah.
and you've got parts that are quite, you know,
Well,
heavy.
like a song like Chase the Dragon, I'll have it chord tapped on the bridge. And then just knock the chord tap down when you get to the heavy part.
With the very minor adjustments there.
But you hear how versatile it is. You know, the clean's beautiful, snappy, has that acoustic quality. And then the heavy just so crushing.
But it's crazy how, yeah, like very minor tweaks and you can already get, you know, all that.
A big thing a lot of brands struggle to find that balance is when you want heavy, right? You want crushing. But then if you want to play heavy with chords, it's very hard to get that individual note separation. Right? If it was clean, that's fine. And you have that low end.
Yeah.
But even heavy and playing like a more complex chord. You can hear every single note, yet lose none of that. Girth is my favorite word for this.
Yeah.
That chunk, you know?
Yeah, the real hard to swallowness of it all. Because we've mentioned that, you know, the majority of players are very genty, you've chosen for your demo a I'd say a very different direction from what a lot of people do to try and demo in Ormsby. Can you talk a little bit, about how you decided to, you know, do this?
Well, the demo is based off one of my old songs called Man Whisperer. And I guess if you had to put a name to the style of it, it's kind of more of that Scandinavian melodic death metal.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, which I'm a huge fan of, obviously. It was the first song that we ever did in a drop tuning. And I decided to play a clean section, like a clean version of the progression and a heavier part to really showcase the range of the Ormsby.
And you found that because a lot of people were doing really shreddy stuff,
Also because I can't.
that's fine,
Yeah.
you know. But then as a result, you kind of also went like, look, here's a different element to kind of show the Ormsby's breadth on top of its depth.
You know what? Like, with guitar, all the attention always goes to the technical stuff, which I get. Like, I'm really into it too. I love watching it. If I had our other band member Simon here, he would be able to do all that for you.
Shredding like crazy.
But a large part of heavy music is really the rhythms, the riffs, you know. Solos are great, but it's the riffs that people
I
remember.
think that's stick. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the first impression.
It's the riffs that really stick with you. And when you talk about any famous song, if I say Smoke on the Water, it's not the solo you remember, it's the riff. Right? I won't play it because I don't know where to get our video taken
That's
off.
very saying.
You know, it's riffs, and you know, bands like Metallica, what made Metallica so successful is those great riff after riff after riff. I wanted to show how great this guitar could be in that context, you know, as a songwriting tool.
At the show, it's like, yeah, its capacity, its breadth, like beyond just a shreddy, you can do so much. Like, so like, ultimately, my takeaway from this guitar is that it's very practical for when you're on the fly. You need to change, you know, your sound if your song has variation.
Yep.
It's very ergonomic. It's an
Ergonomic.
ergonomic guitar.
Yep.
And on top of that, you know, like you mentioned before, you're like, it's truly a guitar for guitarists, like whatever
It's for
style.
anyone, and I think it's a great. This probably got cut off, but I think it's a great beginner's guitar too.
Because we mentioned things like the price, the affordability, that if you are curious about getting into the world of guitar or electric guitar, or you're curious about getting into the world of Ormsby, you can grab yourself an Indonesian brand for like
What,
Fuck
1,300? Something like that?
1,200, yeah. And this is 1,200 Aussie, so if you're in the US, it'd be like $800-900 US dollars, man.
And it's a pro level guitar. You could take that from the bedroom to the stage straight away.
From the bedroom, yeah.
You know, just to be clear, I'm not being paid by Ormsby. You know, I'm not even endorsed by them yet. But I'm doing this simply because I'm that fucking impressed with this brand.
It's genuinely such a, like, I don't even play guitar, but like one of my biggest things, I'm like, they're such gorgeous, they're absolutely gorgeous pieces of art, the design. And like you said, even your Indonesian, your Korean brand, the makes, they're all still quality.
I like
check.
that how they're different ranges. It's not like they have an awesome guitar and then they have like a slightly less awesome version. They don't do that. They have different colors, different designs. That each range is amazing. Like even if you own Ormsby custom shop model, you would still be, you know, keen on buying one of the Indonesian ones because it's got something different with the design and the functionality that you would find useful too.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're a more professional, more experienced player or you have more money in the bank, you only buy custom shop. You know, I would shop from every single range of Ormsby.
Wow.
That's how good they are.
Damn. So you've got this one. Oh, you have another Ormsby coming in June, July.
Yes, it is the Run 16 Metal X. That's what it looks like right here. Absolutely stunning. And
Dragon Burst.
yeah, the Metal X, it's a different kind of shape, a bit wild. And I like to try it out because I have the intention to have my own custom model built down the track based off possibly that shape or maybe even a V.
I mean, you love your wild, wacky, flamboyant guitars. This is truly it's a very wild design.
It's a beautiful, beautiful design. And, you know, different pickups again. It's even more crushingly heavy from what I've heard.
We're definitely going to do a video once that bad boy arrives. But like, seriously, it's just, they're just so gorgeous. Like, I remember, like, the first time you found, you know, he found Ormsby, is sending me pictures on Instagram, like, dude, check this out, check this out.
We should do a video where we just go through their Instagram, right? You know what? We're going to do it. We'll do a video where we go through the Instagram. You know, we'll put the screen up here for you to see.
We'll do a screen grab.
And we'll just react to every design.
Because seriously, like, they're just gorgeous.
It's all killer, no filler. That's
True that.
how you describe Ormsby.
Yeah. What's the other thing as well? Like, you're tempted to get a custom shop for your third one.
Yes, I am. But then, you know, they've got a copper print that's coming out.
Hi, life's so hard. But look, we're gonna put links and all that because we firmly believe that these guys are deserving of being checked out.
Yeah.
Especially if you've never heard of them or if you heard of them, but you were just kind of, you were curious to buy, you were buy curious, then you should totally,
You know, if you
check
can,
it out.
If you have any guitar shops in your local city that carry an Ormsby, do yourself a favor, go and try one. You will not be disappointed. If you can't, order it off the site.
Yeah.
You know, have a go. That's the other thing to mention about Ormsby as well. They make owning an Ormsby so incredibly affordable for anyone.
Yes.
You know, with the new guitar I've ordered, you've got to put a $1,500 deposit down. But they let you split that up into 4 separate monthly payments of $375.
Damn. This sounds like a promotion, but I assure you it is not.
No, it's just, I'm just that impressed.
It's genuinely it's so rare to have the company themselves have this, you know, very affordable system.
Yeah. And that's important, you know, like there's no point seeing a guitar that's so expensive. You know, you probably have to save up for years. And if it's too expensive as well,
You get so precious with it.
Yeah, you get scared playing it, you know? You got to be comfortable, and the way Ormsby set it up, they make it so that just about anyone could afford to get an Ormsby. And once you do, mate, that's the beginning of the addiction. It's over.
You're set.
Yeah.
It's
You're
for
gone.
the players.
Yeah, it's truly a brand for the fans, for the players.
And they've also got this Facebook group as well that's so community and
Yeah.
family
Ask
based.
any question, you know. Perry himself will reply to it. That's amazing. Like, you know, that level of communication that you have with them. I chat with people from all over the world there. You know, we don't talk about anything other than guitars and our love for Ormsby, and it's like church.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without the controversy.
Yeah. I guess that's about enough to wrap it up. We've spoken so much about this. There's so much footage, but it is.
You know, I wanted to do a short video, but I can't. You know, this guitar and this brand absolutely deserves a long video and your attention. So to wrap it up, this is the Ormsby SX GTR. I'm Josh Mack from the band Sin Nation, and you've been watching the evolution of creation.